We do also have to note that I need to thank David because we didn't have a lot of old pictures when we were in our early 20s back at Top Cow. But Dave wisely bought a Polaroid and David moving out of the old studio and he took a lot of pictures. So ones that we can't put up on the screen, but we didn't have a lot of pictures of those. So thank you, Dave, for keeping those and taking those for us.
Hi, can everybody hear me? Hello? The past few years being able to work with everybody at Aspen and just being able to know Mike have been just the most amazing time of my life, and the whole sense of this being a family and the extended family to come, the community and all the fans and Mike's family is just absolutely true. You know, Mike was the guy that was good at everything he did. He was in medical school and decided I could do it, but I don't want to. And then he said, I want to ski, so he moved to Colorado and he skied. And then he moved and he became a karate teacher. And scuba diving. And I think right before he decided to become a comic penciler, he was going to be a super spy, like James Bond, because he had all the talents. But that was the thing, and I knew that if you ever, like, if you never played darts and you went to a bar and said, oh, let's throw darts, you just knew he was going to beat you because he just naturally was just good at everything he did. He was such a bright light for everybody that knew him, and everybody that met him knows what I'm talking about. And in Soulfire, Malachi, we call him the Samasura, the bringer of light. And whether or not we all knew it at the time, we were talking about Mike. And to me, that's who he'll always be. And I'm just thankful that I was able to spend the time with him that I had. And I know that his light will be shining, not with that necklace on, hopefully, but shining nonetheless. So I love him like a brother, and I'm just so happy to have been able to know him and all the people that I've been able to meet through him. That's it. Thanks.
My name is Julia Chesney, also a fellow comic creator. Unfortunately, Michael Turner, I, and Dave Stevens, and many others are part of a small group with cancer. I am, as far as I know, one of the oldest cancer survivors, 18 years as of this month. But what I will say is that those two and those two are actually very supportive of me. We fought. It was about living. It was about living each and every day. We didn't think about the C word. But it was like, okay, we take the treatments, we fight. We think about our family, our friends, and it was about enjoying our life. What we plan things for tomorrow. I have to say, Michael really turned me out of a funk when I talked with him over the last few times I met him, because I really got depressed. Because every time you go to the doctor and they find it again, the clock gets reset. It's 9 years to consider you clear. I've had the clock reset 3 times. And I was stupid and kept it quiet. Dave and Michael both said, you know, we're kind of silly here. But Michael was very supportive of me, and I really appreciated it. Really appreciate to have known him and help get my mind out of that very dark place.
Hi, my name's Brad. I worked at Top Cow through the 90s. I was there through all this crazy time that happened over those great days. I was actually a roommate of Mike's as well, which opened up a lot of other insight to me. 2 great stories I just got to share though. We went to Cancun one time. Just he and I just took off Mike liked to celebrate after the end of every deadline, which for him was probably every few weeks. We took off to Cancun, had a great time. And as you guys know, Mike was an expert, water skier. But I had never water skied in my life, so Mike thought it'd be great if I learned. So he paid for me to go out and to take some lessons. And so we walked to the end of the pier, and this guy was very cocky. He was like, "Oh, I'm going to teach you. You're going to learn in one turn, buddy. I'll get you to water ski." And of course, Mike never said that he was an expert water skier, so Mike nodded and said, "Brad, I think you're in good hands." So I get on, and sure enough, the boat just drags me the whole time, and all the way back. And I'm really, really just annoyed and upset, and I felt bad that Mike actually paid for it. But I get out of the water, and Mike and I had a nice little connection going at the time, and I looked at him, I kind of gave him this look, and he looked back, and I said, "Sir, I think you're a really great coach, but I'm not a very good student, but this gentleman right here, I think, needs to learn." And Mike's like, no, I'm afraid of the water, I'm afraid, I don't want to go. I'm like, no, Mike, it's okay, you can learn it. Go, this guy, I'm not a good student, this guy, come on, teach him. So Mike gets on and does this little act like he gets on the skis a little bit, kind of waves a little bit, and gets a little nervous looking around. "It's okay, Mike, it's okay, he'll take care of you." So Mike, sure enough, does a great acting job on the way out, falling in the water, flipping around, and the boat makes the turn. And all of a sudden, Mike starts digging in. And he starts getting there, and all of a sudden this guy starts doing tricks. So Mike's doing tricks, he's doing little flips around, he's doing this whole thing. And he comes up, and the guy pulls up to the dock, and you can tell the teacher's just mad. He just gets out, and I'm like, "Wow, you're the best teacher ever." Mike gives him a hug, he's like, "My world has changed. Do you think I can compete?" And it was just great. And the guy was so mad, he just cursed our name for the rest of the week. But, he gave us a dirty look the next day when we saw him at a bar. But Mike we just played along really well. Another real quick story so people can talk. We used to always go out, a bunch of us were all single back in the day, and we'd go out to a bar afterwards and have a good time. And we'd go up to the bar and just, try to mix and mingle with stuff. And some girls would be like, "Well, so what do you guys do?" And they're like, "Oh, we're comic book guys." But Mike was really smart. He said, "I'm an artist." And we're like, look, I'm on the business side. I can't draw anything, really, stick figure. So we just kind of threw up our hands. We're like, "Okay, we're out." And Mike would sit there and pencil whoever it was. And he was doing it more just for a joke, more than anything. And he'd draw it, and David Wool would be with me on some of those times. And David would look at me and go, "I think you just drew Sarah Pizzini." And we look at the girl, and we look down and be like, "Here's this Witchblade drawing, and here's a girl who looks nothing like Witchblade." And the girl's just mesmerized. She's like, "Oh, this is beautiful," right? And Mike's like, "Yeah, it's just for you." And I turned to Mike and I said, "That's not very nice. You're using your powers for evil." It'd be really nice if you actually hooked up the rest of us, right? So Mike went and started drawing all these Sarah Pizzini pictures that we could then hand out at the bar. So there was all these women that thought they were Sarah Pizzini, and none of them looked anywhere close to it. But man, there was a lot of people happy, and Mike was just laughing because he just sitting there drawing the whole time and just handed them out. And what he didn't realize is we were just trying to keep him busy so that he had no chance of anybody else. So it was a good time. But Mike, we miss you very much, buddy. You're just a wonderful person, someone to look up to. Thank you very much.
No, wait.